Hello, this is Coffee Break with Ninita, a daily guide of coping skills that gets us through by making us strong. I want to talk more about emotion. Even though often they're unpleasant and we want to put them in some kind of a box because it interferes with our functioning, I want you not to dismiss them. Even if you are trying through medication to put the emotions in perspective so that it cannot interfere with your functioning, I want you to remember what are those emotions. And the reason I'm saying that is because often the emotions that sort of feel like paralyzing us carry with them a message that if we dismiss or miss it because we have put the emotions in perspective so that it will not interfere with our functioning, we might be missing a very valuable point that our emotions are making. Interesting enough, when we stop putting the emotions in perspective by either stop taking the medication, of course, under doctor's guidelines, remember the emotions will be felt. They are not going to disappear. And I'm making that point because often we are faced with emotions that don't relate with the present situation. We call them free-floating anxiety, where we feel uneasy, but nothing at the present time might be unsettling or uncomfortable. And that uncomfortable feeling might probably come from a different time in our lives when we either experienced anxiety that we try to dismiss, or by getting into medication because we wanted to sustain our functioning. Those emotions are waiting for a new opportunity to be lived. Because nature is wonderful. The emotions are not there to bother us. The emotions are there to warn us, like we said before, like smoke alarm of something that either happened in the past that made us uncomfortable. And so watch out what you're going to feel, because it might be triggering old wounds, or it is something that's about to happen that probably is going to be difficult. I don't necessarily have to not do what is at hand, but it is like we are in front of a crossroad that has a stop sign, and that stop sign doesn't tell us to turn around and walk away. It tells us, be careful, cross with caution. So look at the emotions, and when we experience them, the way a driver must respect and pay attention to the traffic lights and the stop signs, because we can actually benefit tremendously when we embrace our emotions as our friends, not as our enemies, and proceed, go on in a more cautious way. In the end, when we arrive on the other side of the road and we have embraced the emotions and use them to be cautious, to be careful, to take slow steps, we find out that beautiful feeling of accomplishment and achievement. A quick example: I'm afraid to say what is on my mind because people might laugh. My emotions might tell me either to be angry and attacking and fight fight out the thought that I have, use that kind of negative, forceful energy, or say nothing at all. Instead, being aware that I'm feeling a little bit timid for whatever reason, to use my words in helping me proceed. Like, I'm going to say something that maybe you're not going to like. My intentions are for you to hear what I have to say. My intentions are not to make you upset. And proceed saying what you were going to say. By making that kind of preface, you're helping both yourself and the other person. Because the other person has the opportunity to realize that it is difficult what you're going to say or what you're going to do, and be more sympathetic. And at the same time, by putting that preface up front, you're preparing yourself exactly the way your words sound. I'm nervous or I'm afraid to say what I'm going to say because my intentions are not to upset you, but I just want to express what is on my mind. Calm and collectively, I proceed then by saying my idea. And in the end, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say what was on my mind. What we are doing through this approach is A, we honor our emotions and we let them mold our delivery, and B, we are feeling this kind of closing that loop of having ideas that we don't want to say because we are afraid of the reaction. It is like finishing an unfinished business from before. We will talk more about it next time. Please leave your comments and suggestions on Facebook or email us on staywhole@gmail.com. Until tomorrow, stay well and God bless you.